We got in the wrong line again.
Oh man, it never fails.
We're going into Grand Canyon National Park.
Line 3, womp, womp, womp.
Yeah, don't go in 3. Go in 4, and then when 5 opens, you can zoom on.
It's good, 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 good morning. It's a good, 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 good morning. It's a good, 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 good morning.
If you're anything like us, the Grand Canyon National Park has always been a bucket list destination.
I was wrong on this one, guys. I gotta admit, even though the Grand Canyon was a bucket list item for us, it wasn't on the top of my list.
I know it wasn't.
It just,
It's
I know.
crazy.
It's just one of those things, I didn't think it was gonna be for me.
It was for me.
I was wrong. I was totally wrong. It was awesome. Now, what we did, we left Page, Arizona. We headed west towards the Grand Canyon. Our very first glimpse of the Grand Canyon was at a place called Desert View. If you never heard of Desert View, it's on the far eastern side of the canyon and also on the south rim. They had bathrooms there. I think
They had bathrooms and snacks,
and-
but
and-
I don't remember seeing a restaurant.
I don't
Not
think it was
there.
a full-blown restaurant,
don't
if
think
I
there
remember
was.
correctly. But typical stopover, and the views of the canyon was just
Well, that was our first.
unbelievable. And I
That
don't
was our
think we'll
first glimpse.
ever forget it, right?
Right.
Yeah, unbelievable. Now, the other part of Desert View, they have something there called the Watchtower. Now, the Watchtower was built in 1932, and it's actually a National Historic Landmark. But the Watchtower, it's made up of multiple floors. If I remember correctly, 3, possibly 4 floors. Now, the bottom floor is kind of a replica of a Native American kiva. So that's kind of neat. And that's open to the public. Anybody can walk in there. There's a gift shop, some great views of the canyon as well, a big fireplace. Just a kind of a nice place maybe to get it in out of the sun and relax. Now, if you want to go into the upper floors, that does require a pass or a permit. When we were there, it was first come, first serve.
Right.
They only allowed 25 people at a time in the upper floors. And there was like a time limit, I believe they said every 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
They weren't that strict on the time, but they do try to give people an opportunity to get in and out. So the Watchtower was pretty amazing as well.
Dogs are not allowed inside the Watchtower.
Yeah, definitely no dogs in the tower at all, but they can still look out at the Desert View and look at the Grand Canyon.
Oh yeah.
So after we spent some time at Desert View, the next thing we did is we headed over to basically it's the south entrance of the Grand Canyon. Now it's a 23-mile drive from Desert View to the south entrance or to the Grand Canyon Village. What we always like to do is we try to hit the visitor center first, just to get information, find out things to do. We'd really hate to miss something just because we didn't know about it.
Their local wildlife.
And their local wild, yeah, we're always looking for the wildlife. Now there are 7 different visitor centers along the south rim. The only one that we really went to was the main one at the Canyon Village, and everything you need is there. It's pretty amazing. Now, besides the visitor center, you have the whole village, which is there. I mean, there's the post office. There's I think it was a grocery store, if I remember correctly. Backcountry. Everything you need for the Grand Canyon.
A market plaza.
Market plaza. Everything is in that village, hotels and whatnot. But one of the most popular spots in the Grand Canyon or that area is a place called Mather Point. This is probably, it's definitely the most popular, and some people say it's the best view of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And Mather Point is named after the first director of the National Park Service. And guess what his last name was?
Mather.
How about that? What a coincidence. So if you are in the south entrance area or the village area, Mather Point is definitely a stopover, place to get some great views of the canyon. And if you know us, after getting all these views, we had to do something about it and go be part of it.
What do you think we did?
We went for a hike. We're only going to hike about 3 miles of the Rim Trail today. Again, the Rim Trail's really the only one that's basically flat around here. Everything else kind of goes down into the canyon or partially into the canyon. You can turn around, of course, whenever you want. But we're not that energetic. So we're gonna do the rim trail, and we're actually gonna have to take, it's called Hermit Road, and you have to take a bus to go onto that road. It's the red bus line. So we're trying to hike to get to the bus stop for that. Then we're gonna start out on have the bus drop us off at Mohave Point, and then we'll just hike our way back. And it should be about a 3-mile hike, give or take. Because we got to hike a half-mile just to get to the bus stop. So parking, no, not that bad. But it's hopefully it's pretty flat and fairly easy, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful day. And we're off.
We're on our way. I don't feel very energetic.
You better be, because we're getting off the bus. We got to walk back. So.
Right.
Pack your bags and fire up the engine. Drive until your heart can feel the mountains. Drive until your eyes are barely open. Gotta find the answers to the question.
We are in awe.
I have to admit, we were just talking about this walking over here. The Grand Canyon is definitely something I wanted to see, but it wasn't on top of my list.
No, it wasn't.
No particular reason. It's just, I think I enjoy mountains,
Mm-hmm.
mountain lakes, that type of scenery more. But I gotta say, I think I was wrong. This is
Pretty spectacular.
pretty impressive. It really, really is. I've heard that from everybody who's talked about the Grand Canyon, how impressive it is, and I'm kind of, yeah, whatever. But I think they were right. The colors are just amazing.
Yeah.
The distances, the sheer size of this, it's just unbelievable.
Size is
So this is really, really cool. We got a beautiful, beautiful day. It's in the upper 60s right now. It's supposed to get to the low 70s. Something else we found out, we're butchering these names.
Oh yeah. What we thought was Masuik
What's it called?
Lodge. It's not we thought it was Masuik or Uick. It's not. It's a W. It's Masuik.
Masuik Lodge.
Masuik Lodge.
And it's not Mohave Point, it's Mojave.
Mojave.
So that's where we're at. What we did is we took the red bus to Mojave Point.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is just walk back to where you would get on the red bus at. We're at the terminal where the blue bus meets the red bus, basically. It should be right at 3 miles from here. So we're just going to take our time. We're going to basically stay on the rim. It should be pretty flat. Most of it's paved.
Yeah.
I believe it's not paved from here to Hopi Point, but from there on, it's supposed to be paved from what I understand. But man, these views are just unbelievable.
They really are.
Now we got to get to hiking.
I am not a navigator at all. Not at all. Ever.
This is true.
So it all falls on Danny, unfortunately.
When all these songs were still a dream inside you. Back before you had to carry on. Leave your shadows by the ocean. Carry on.
Another little piece of information. Leashed pets are allowed on the rim trail.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. The rim trail, again, is pretty flat, stays up on top. Dogs pets are not allowed to go down into the canyon or any of the trails that go down into the canyon, but they are allowed on the rim trail. And they also have something called greenway trails, which basically sidewalks for bicycles and things like that. Pets are allowed on that. Again,
And I don't think that they're allowed on the buses.
yeah, they're not allowed on buses. And that's why we're doing this part of the trail today. We did have to take a bus out here to Mojave Point. We knew rodeo couldn't do it, so we're doing this today. And then tomorrow during the week, we'll take rodeo on smaller hikes on the rim trail. And they're not allowed in buildings or anything like that unless they're service animals. So they do have a kennel here though, so that's something pretty interesting to be aware of.
Yeah.
They call this the rim trail. They ought to call it on the edge of the abyss trail, because ow, cactus.
Get stuck. Oh no.
Dang, Yucca. You're literally walking on the edge of the rim or the edge of the cliff. Some of these places are just a sheer drop off. It's kind of cool. Got to be careful.
Watch your stuff.
And you got to watch out for cactus, apparently. Our first mile of our journey today on the rim trail. We're at Hopi Point. It took us forever to get here.
There's so much to see.
We stopped so many times taking pictures. It's amazing. Something that really surprises us, though, I just didn't think about this, was the greenery here.
Yeah.
When I'm picturing Grand Canyon, I'm picturing all rocks and desert, but there's a lot of juniper
Red
trees.
It's a lot.
And other, bushes and shrubs.
The earth sounds amazing.
Yeah, definitely. So it's pretty. We even saw some elk here, believe it or not. So it's a lot more here than what I originally thought it was going to be. But we're at Hopi Point now. We have to get to our next point and just continue on down the trail. Nice easy trail so far. From what I understand too, from Hopi Point back to the bus stop, it's all paved. So this should be really very easy hike.
Yeah, but the hike that we did to this point was amazing.
Oh yeah.
It's not hard at all.
No, it was fun. We made it to Powell Point without stopping this time, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't very far.
No, it's only 0.3 miles, but we wanted to stop, but we kind of forced ourselves. These views are just amazing. They're hard to describe, right? It kind of reminds me like when we used to tell people about Yellowstone. Pictures just doesn't do justice, right? You gotta just kind of be there and be immersed in it, and the smells and just everything. I think this is another one of those places.
Yeah,
it's just
sure.
just amazing. But
Amazing.
we're at Powell Point. We're gonna try to get to our next one and continue on with our hike.
Here comes a raven.
Oh boy.
Hold on to your back.
Yeah. Thieves. This was really cool. We stopped here, had a little lunch, a couple tangerines, and just relaxed and enjoyed the view. Powell, he was one of the first, or I guess the first documented explorer of the Grand Canyon. So they have a monument for him here. And if you've ever heard of Lake Powell, that's what it was named after as well. But what a great spot to just take a break. We had, like I said, we had a nice little lunch, beautiful scenery, and some really good spots to take some pretty cool pictures too, right?
Right, but I wouldn't say that was lunch. That was a snack.
That was a snack.
I'm
Is that a
hungry.
hint?
I'm still hungry.
Why is it with us? There's always food involved. Usually one for public transportation. I kind of like to do my own thing, but I got to say the shuttle buses here, they're on top of it. Just about every 10 to 15 minutes a new shuttle bus comes through. So, and they're quick. They're in and out of the bus stops really quick. So great way to experience part of Grand Canyon anyways, is just find a place to park and make use of the shuttle buses. Pretty impressive. Another option, if you're not big into hiking, this Hermit Road, again, you're only allowed to go on here, no personal vehicles, you have to take a shuttle bus, but you can take bicycles here. So I think if we had e-bikes, this would have been a perfect place to ride them, take them all the way out to Hermit Point. Yeah, and then just take your time coming back and hit all the overlooks. So that's another option. Again, I think it's probably about 12 miles maybe one way. But it'd be a fun option, definitely. It'd be a little bit easier than walking.
the bus stop, I guess. We're in the beginning of the red line. We started at Mojave Point, just walked our way back. Took the bus out there and came back. I have 4 miles on my watch. It's not that accurate. It should only be about 3 miles. Some of that is because we had to park in the lodge and walk here, and we did all the little overlooks and stuff like that. So 3 miles one way, pretty flat.
Might be 4 if you count the overlooks.
Every little thing we did, yeah, pretty flat most of the way. A couple little small hills, nothing major.
No,
Mainly paved.
mainly.
Most of it's
There's
paved.
some rock steps up and down. There's some a little bit, but nothing bad.
Yeah, nothing bad. It was a fun hike and just a beautiful, beautiful day.
Beautiful day.
So I think now it's time to go get rodeo, and we're hungry.
Imagine that. We're so hungry.
The Rim Trail hike was really fun. It was an easy hike and it offered some great views.
Now we only did about 3 miles of the Rim Trail, but you can do as much or as little as you like. You're going to take a bus out, and they have bus stops along the way.
Yeah.
Just get off whenever you off at one of the bus stops and hike your way back to the trailhead. So
That's
it's
all.
Pretty easy.
Yep. So after the Rim Trail hike, we decided to do some window
No,
shopping.
you decided to do some window shopping.
Well, you know, Hopi House is an authentic historic landmark that was opened in 1905. It's been open for over 100 years, and it is full of all kinds of arts and crafts of the local native Indians. And I mean, it's just phenomenal. It's kind of like a little...
It's almost like a museum.
Like a museum / gift shop. And I mean, some of the things that they have are just incredible.
I am not a shopper
No.
at all.
No,
Right?
he's
But this
not.
was actually pretty neat. Now, I didn't stay in there as long as Dina did, but it was neat to walk around, look at some of the Native American art and crafts and all. So and there's some history in there as well, too. So that was pretty fun. But after the Hopi House, somebody did mention to us the Tovar Lodge,
which is right next door to the
right
Hopi
next
House.
door, yeah. And it's supposed to be one of the crown jewels of the lodges of the national park.
Yep.
So we did have to head over there, and I think we got a drink, if I remember right. We tried to, I guess. This was our
Be
first.
aware.
Make reservations if you plan on going to the Tovar Lodge for dinner, or even if you want to just go sit in the bar area and have a drink.
There
It's
is a line,
tough.
and it takes some time.
Plan ahead,
Yeah.
basically. Now, it took us quite a while just to get a couple sodas,
Yeah,
and we ended up sitting outside.
sodas.
We ended up, that was a key word there.
I just got it.
We ended up sitting outside on some lounge chairs, actually, or rocking chairs, and we got to enjoy the view outside. So it
The
was,
sunset.
yeah, and the sunset looking over the South
Yeah,
Rim. So
beautiful.
it was definitely worth it, but just be aware reservations are pretty much a must.
Cheers. We waited in line for 38 minutes just to get a drink.
All we wanted to do was sit on the patio and watch the sunset. They have a beer garden here, but it's kind of closed. You got to really go inside to their
And I think they're short-handed.
to their tavern. You have to wait in line with everybody who also wants to wait in line for tables. So
Best garden mule I've ever had.
it better be after that long wait we had.
I should have got 2.
Now, to pay Dina back for making me go window
Oh,
shopping,
boy.
I did want to try out the Bright Angel hike, and it's right there. It's all in the same area. I've heard so much about this.
Yeah.
If you never heard the Bright Angel hike, it actually goes from the South Rim all the way down into the canyon, back up the other side. There's no way I was going to do the whole hike. I probably physically couldn't do it. But I did want to get a feeling of it. So I did go down about a mile and a quarter, and come back up. So I did get a chance to do the Bright Angel hike.
I'm on the Bright Angel Trail. This trail starts at the top of the South Rim up by the red bus line, the terminal for the red bus line. This trail goes all the way down into the canyon, and you can actually follow it out the other side if you'd like. I'm not doing that. I just wanted to walk. I'm just gonna go maybe a mile, at the most and turn around and come back. I just kind of want to get a feel of it, see what it looks like. Part of it looks pretty neat, but there's just no way I'm going to go all the way. And you actually have to have a permit to, 'cause it's more than one day if you're going to go all the way to the bottom and down. But if you just do about maybe a mile and turn around, that's going to be plenty for me.
My eyes, I'm staring at the ceiling for a while, now my heart's got this feeling. My eyes,
Finally, if you look at the people coming back up, you can tell the ones who've been hiking all day, they're not looking too good. And that's why I'm not going very far today. I'm gonna probably just go about a mile at the most, then we'll turn around. It's enough to get a little bit of a feeling of the hike anyways, and enough to say I was on it. Definitely not going all the way. The views are spectacular. They're really unbelievable. And it's kind of cool. Like I said, you're on the edge of the cliff most of the way. A lot of switchbacks. So we'll see how much of a mistake this was when I turn around and start going back uphill.
They grow like titans, or it seems it. I know, I must be planted for a reason. And if you could be my open skies, and I could be a wildflower. Yeah, I could be a wildflower.
I just got to my first big switchback and I was able to look back up where I got to go back to. I'm getting nervous already. And I haven't gone that far. I've gone maybe a half mile, and I'll show you where it came from. I got to get back up in that area, up by that house. I'm going to put a limit on myself for 1 mile. I'm going to base that off of my watch, so it'll be fairly accurate. But this trail is so easy to suck you in. It's just so easy going downhill. You just want to keep going and going and going. But I keep watching these people going back up, and they look like they're hurting. And I don't know how far they went, but I'm going to limit myself to 1 mile down, and then 1 mile back up. And hopefully that'll be good enough for me.
To where everything could be ours. If you could be my open skies, and I could be a wildflower. I believe the rains are coming. Wait, I know it seems like miles and miles away, but I believe that everything's about to change. And if you could be my
It's pretty fun going down, and I have to go back up. I got just over a mile to go, but it's pretty cool. I'll show you what it looks like. I think that's the tunnel right there, the first tunnel I got to go through. And continue up. Ever heard that expression, catching your second wind? I think I'm on my 10th wind right now. It is exhausting going back up, but I knew that.
Yeah, I could be a wildflower. And underneath the sea of stars I'll bloom to make it through to where everything could be ours. If you could be my open skies, and I could be your wildflower.
All right, I made it. I went about just over a mile down, and of course a mile back, so I did a 2 mile round trip. It's very, very easy to get sucked into this hike. You kind of want, at least me, I want to see what's behind the next switchback. It kind of draws you in. You want to keep going and going and going, and in the back of your mind, you know you got to climb all the way back up as well. But it's a really cool hike, a lot of great scenery. Even if you just went down to the very first tunnel or arch, I think it's like quarter mile down. It's a great place to take pictures. The second arch is 0.8 miles down. So I went just past that a little bit and turned around. just the beginning of the hike. I believe this hike's like 12 miles long if you go the whole way, so not for me.
Now, I only did about 2 miles of the Bright Angel Trail, but it did give me enough of appreciation of the difficulties of the trail, and anybody who could really do this whole trail all the way out and all the way back, I give them a lot of credit. I couldn't do it.
I'm really happy you got to experience it, though, even though the little bit that you get that you got to see and do, because our son did this years ago, and he's always talked about the hike. And now you can relate it even more to when he talks about it. But I'm really happy that you got to experience it.
Yeah, I am too. Now, something else that we did, I don't think we mentioned this earlier, but I did really want to mention this now, is something that we learned at the Grand Canyon was parking.
Yeah.
Parking can get extremely difficult. There's a lot of parking lots, but they do fill up fast. Now, luckily, there's a lot of stuff in a compact area as well. So I think we feel that you could park maybe by the visitor center, take the buses and public transportation to some of the outlying areas. And if not that, there's so much within walking distance that you should be able to leave your car in the parking lot for the day and enjoy a full day at the Grand Canyon.
Definitely. We are so grateful that we got to experience the Grand Canyon National Park. It is incredible. Definitely opened your eyes.
It did. I was wrong. I admit it.
Proved you wrong.
Yep.
And we're very thankful that we got to experience it. And if you're ever able to go, we recommend you go. Thank you so much for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it.
Remember, always live life to the fullest.
Safe travels and God bless.